Once again welcome back in that digital class of learning. Today we will finish the last connective tissues, that is the blood. Already we have finished the areolar connective tissues, tendon, ligament, bone, cartilage and adipose tissues. So this is the last connective tissues, and that connective tissue is known as fluid connective tissue. So what is a fluid connective tissue? Why do we call it fluid connective tissue? I just told in the previous lecture that because it runs in the fluid form, in the liquid form from one place to the another. That is from heart to the different body organs and it come back to the heart. So this is called a fluid connective tissue. So blood and lymph which is present in your body is known as fluid connective tissue. So one more question is that this blood and lymph is studied in the hematology. Hematology is the pathological process, or it is dealing with the study of the blood and its culture. So what is hematology? It is the study of blood. So now the term is fluid connective tissue. So this fluid connective tissue is what? Blood and lymph. Now this blood is a connective tissue and it has two components. Number one component is called plasma. This is called plasma, and the second component is called corpuscles. So come to the plasma. What is the plasma here? I just told in the previous lecture that all the connective tissue is having their matrix. So this plasma is the matrix of the blood, and it is the place where all the other component of the blood is suspended or they are embedded here. Plasma is the liquid part, and these plasma contain a number of vitamins, carbohydrates, sugars, antibodies and mineral salts. So all the good substances is present in the plasma. And for the testing of any pathological diseases, for example, if anybody take the sugar testing or any hormonal testing, so what is taken from the body? Plasma. Actually blood is taken out, the plasma is separated by the centrifugation process, and this is a light yellowish color fluid, and that contain all the required material. For example, once again I am telling, proteins, carbohydrates, sugar, hormones, antibodies, minerals and salts, etc. So this is about the plasma. Now the next part of the blood is called corpuscles. Corpuscles are called blood cells, and that blood cells is of three types. There are three kind of corpuscles are present. Number one is RBC. It is called red blood corpuscles. Second number is WBC. It is called white blood cells, and third one is called platelets. The common name of RBC is erythrocytes. It is also called erythrocytes because of the reddish appearance of the blood. WBC is called leukocytes. Leukocytes means colorless. It does not have any color, so it is called the leukocytes. Last, platelets. The name of platelets is thrombocytes. And first, RBC. What is the standard amount of RBC present in 1 ml of blood? That is 4.5 to 5.5 per millimeter per cube of the RBC amount. Now, what is the value of this WBC? It is about 6,000 to 9,000 per millimeter of the blood. Secondly, here these platelets. So platelets would be also from the range of the 150 to the 2000 per millimeter of the blood. So this is the normal range of the blood component, that is the corpuscles in a healthy person. Now let us see the RBC first of all. This RBC is disc-like structure. When you go through the textbook, you find the structure of RBC, WBC and the platelets. So this RBC is disc-like structure, and this is reddish in color. Sometimes you can see the biconcave shape also. So what is the color of the blood and why it is in that color? So these red blood corpuscles, that is called the red blood cells, is having the pigment, and the name of the pigment is called hemoglobin. Hemoglobin is a pigment which give reddish color to the blood. So what is a hemoglobin? Hemoglobin is a pigment which impart reddish color to the blood. Number one function of hemoglobin is it provides redness to the blood. Another function of hemoglobin is it is oxygen carrier. It carries oxygen from one place to the another part of the body. And it means from the lungs to the various parts of the body, and from there it comes back. So this hemoglobin have tendency to carry oxygen as well as carbon dioxide in our body system. So this RBC, what the function of RBC, red blood cells? Number one function of RBC is transportation. It is required for the transportation of food material from one place to another. It is also help out to the transportation of the waste material from one place to another place. Next, it is also responsible for the maintenance of the heating system of the body. It maintains the body temperature. So on that behind there are two types of organism. There is cold-blooded animal and the warm-blooded animal. Warm-blooded animal is what? Whose the body temperature remain constant throughout the life, throughout the time period, except the unconditional situation. That is human being is a good example of warm-blooded animal. Cold-blooded animal is what? That animal whose blood is changing according to the situation of the outside. So that is called the cold-blooded animal. For example, reptile, snake and frog. These are the example of cold-blooded animals. Next, there is an exception of RBC. The mammalian RBC does not have the nucleus. So they are enucleated. They lack of the nucleus. Now, next one is the WBC. It is called the white blood corpuscles and its name is leukocytes. You might be heard about the term leukemia. Leukemia is called the blood cancers. So these WBC is having their own components. Number one is called monocytes. These monocytes, leukocytes, neutrophils, basophils and eosinophils. These are the 5 components of a WBC, and these monocytes, neutrophils and leukocytes are basically providing fighting against diseases, or they kill the microbes which enter to the blood or which enters to our body system. So monocytes, leukocytes, neutrophils, their main function is they help to developing the immunity, and they destroy the foreign germs like bacteria, virus and fungi which enter the body system. Now this basophils is what? Basophils is a part of the WBC, or it is a component of the cells of the WBC which provide the chemical substance called histamine and serotonin. And these basophils are related with the inflammation and swelling, or it gives the redness to the cells or the tissues. Next, eosinophil. Eosinophil is work as antagonistic, that is the negative work against the basophils. It works like an antihistamine properties. When there is more secretion of histamine or serotonin, the eosinophil will be minimized. So eosinophil is more active during the allergy situation. Suppose somebody is suffering from common cough and cold, running nose is there, sneezing is there. So at that time the amount of eosinophil will be higher as to the normal position. So what the function of eosinophil? It works to against basophil, it minimizes the histamine and the serotonin. Now eosinophil is when the concentration of eosinophil is increased abnormally, that is the disease called eosinophilia. So what the eosinophilia? It is the allergic reaction. It is an allergic situation when the count of eosinophil is increased. Now the third component of these corpuscles is called the platelets. What is a platelets? Its name is the thrombocytes. Platelets are the fragments of blood. They are called the fragments of blood. And these platelets have the function of clotting of blood. What is a clotting of blood? When there is a minor injuries or the wounds, what happened? The blood is oozing out. Blood is start to coming outside. As per rule, by 2 to 3 minutes, the blood flow should be stopped. So stopping of this blood is known as clotting of the blood, and that is given by the platelets. The properties of platelets is what? Clotting of the blood. Now this one more fluid connective tissue, that is called the lymph. What is a lymph? Lymph is also fluid connective tissue, and it is the filtrate of blood. Lymph is the filtrate of blood, and it makes the lymphatic system that you will study in the higher classes. And the function of lymph is also like the monocytes, leukocytes and neutrophils, because they take part in the immune system regulation. So lymph is the colorless liquid, and it is the fluid, it is the filter of the blood, and it is basically helping to the stimulating the immune system of our body. Thanks for watching.